Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Recently, I released a video where I talked about credit card churning and the impact it has on the credit card industry as a whole. I also discussed the various ways that you could take advantage of credit card bonuses to make thousands of dollars. So today, I'm going to share 11 of the best credit card bonuses that are available right now. And some of these are premium travel plays, some are beginner friendly, some are just cashback options. Others sit right in the middle and can work for a wide range of people. If you stack these, it is absolutely realistic to extract $9,000 or actually more than that in combined value across travel points and cash back. But like I always discuss on this channel, strategy is everything when it comes to finance and building wealth, but strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. So as we go through these cards, do not just look at the numbers, think about your real spending patterns, your lifestyle, and your long-term credit goals. And with that said, let's start with one of the most talked about and elevated offers on the market right now. We have to begin with the Capital One Venture X because currently the bonus on this card is turning a lot of heads. Now, right now, Capital One is offering 75,000 bonus miles on the Venture X, and this is worth around $750 in travel. Now, let's address the elephant in the room immediately. To earn that bonus, you must spend $4,000 within the first 3 months of opening the account. Now, for some people, that number does sound intimidating at first. $4,000 does feel large, but that's exactly why you have to break these requirements down monthly instead of just reacting to the headline. $4,000 over 3 months comes out to roughly $1,333.33 per month. When you look at it through that lens, the requirement becomes much more realistic for many households. Between groceries, insurance payments, utilities, gas, and potential one-time expenses, a lot of people are already spending close to that amount organically. The key is timing. If you know you have higher expenses coming up, maybe seasonal shopping, annual insurance renewals, property tax payments, travel bookings, or even planned home purchases, then this is where larger minimum spend requirements can actually become an advantage than just being a burden. Now, here is where the Venture X really starts to shine. Although the headline bonus says 75,000 miles, that's not actually the full picture. The Venture X earns a minimum of 2 miles per dollar on every purchase. So that means when you complete the required $4,000 in spending, you will earn at least around 8,000 additional miles from the base earning structure. So your real total becomes at least 83,000 miles. Now, at a baseline valuation of 1 cent per mile through the Capital One travel portal, that already represents roughly $830 in travel value. But if you understand how to transfer Capital One miles to airline partners, and this is where experienced users separate themselves from beginners, it's very realistic to achieve closer to 2 cents per mile or more in redemption value. So at that level, 83,000 miles can approach $1,660 in potential travel value. Now, if you do not want to actually use this for miles, some of you just want cash or you just want money, there's also sites like Miles Buyer, which allow you to sell your miles for cash, sometimes providing a potentially higher cash value than direct redemptions. I just want to make you aware that there are already ways to convert this into cash if you don't want to use this for travel whatsoever, and that's going to be a running theme throughout this entire video. That's why this card continues to dominate conversations in the premium travel space. The only drawback that I would have to say is that there is a $395 annual fee, so you do want to keep that in mind. Next, we need to talk about a card that doesn't always get the spotlight it deserves, but does become extremely powerful when used strategically. The Capital One Saver card is currently offering a $200 cashback offer after spending $500 on purchases in the first 3 months. And what makes this card particularly attractive is how accessible the spending requirement is compared to some of the premium cards. $500 is one of the lowest minimum spend thresholds you will see among meaningful welcome offers. And for many people, that amount can be completed with normal everyday purchases without any special planning. But the real strategic value of the Saver card appears when you pair it with the Venture X card. Inside the Capital One ecosystem, cash back from the Saver one can be converted into Capital One miles at a rate of $1 $1 equals 100 miles. So that means that the $200 cash bonus can effectively transform into 20,000 transferable miles. Now, suddenly, what appeared to be a simple cashback bonus becomes part of a much larger travel strategy. Also, if you transfer those Capital One miles into another transfer partner miles with a higher redemption value, you can sell that on different sites to actually just get cash back. Not to mention, the Saver card earns elevated rewards in categories where many people naturally spend heavily, including dining, groceries, entertainment, and streaming services. Now, when you use this as a two-card Capital One setup, the Saver becomes one of the most efficient everyday earners available. Now, let's talk about a card that is extremely practical for a massive portion of the population. If you shop on Amazon regularly, and let's be honest, most people do at this point, the Prime Visa is running one of the strongest welcome offers right now. If you're a new card holder, you receive a $150 Amazon gift card instantly loaded into your Amazon balance after approval. Now, notice what makes this card particularly attractive. There is no minimum spending requirement to unlock that initial bonus. Approval alone will trigger that gift card offer. That makes this one of the fastest and simplest welcome bonuses to capture in today's lineup. Of course, you do need to be an Amazon Prime member to qualify for the card, but considering there are well over 180 million Prime members in the US alone, many people already will meet that requirement. Now, where this card really compounds value is the ongoing reward structure. You earn 5% back on Amazon purchases, Amazon Fresh, Whole Food Market, and travel booked through Chase Travel. For heavy Amazon households, 5% back on a category you already use year-round can generate hundreds of dollars in savings annually without any extra effort. And sometimes the most powerful cards are not the flashiest ones, they're the ones that align perfectly with how you spend money every day. Now we move into one of the newer premium entries that has been generating conversation since last year. The Citi Strata Elite launched earlier in 2025, and they're currently offering a welcome bonus of 75,000 bonus points after you spend $6,000 in the first 3 months. Now, 75,000 Citi Strata Elite thank you points are generally valued at around $1,200 to $1,500, though they can be worth less if redeemed for cash back. Around that range, it's $562 or $563. But again, you'll get more when transferred to high value travel partners. And yes, the card carries a premium annual fee of $595, so this is not positioned as a beginner product. But the reason this card deserves attention is because Citi has been increasing its transfer partner ecosystem. Now, once again, if you go to those websites that buy miles, depending on where you transfer this to, you can get a lot of value from this welcome offer. Both the Strata Elite and the Strata Premier now have access to American Airlines as a one-to-one transfer partner. Now, that is a meaningful development because American airline miles can be extremely valuable when used for partner redemptions, especially for international travel. This card also includes a variety of statement credits, including a hotel benefit and an annual splurge credit that works with select merchants such as American Airlines and Best Buy. Now, in full transparency, the multiplier structure on this card is not my personal favorite, and Citi has made some design choices here that add a bit more complexity than necessary. However, the welcome bonus is pretty good and the transfer partners are improving, so this card absolutely earns a place in the current conversation. Now we get into one of those offers that feels almost like insider knowledge if you haven't seen it before. The Citi A Advantage Platinum Select World Elite MasterCard currently has an offer floating around that can earn 80,000 American airline miles after spending $3,500 within the first 4 months. 80,000 American Airlines A Advantage miles are worth somewhere around $1,200 on average. While these can be worth less, maximizing redemption for flights such as long-haul business or first-class seats can significantly increase their value, sometimes reaching over 2 cents per mile. The card does have a $99 annual fee, but it is waived for the first year, which does lower the risk of trying this card out. Now, what I will say is that 80,000 American airline miles can unlock significant value once again if used for international partner flights where redemption rates can be very strong. Next, we have a more niche opportunity. The JetBlue Premier card is currently offering 80,000 miles after spending $5,000 within the first 3 months. Now, 80,000 JetBlue TrueBlue points are generally worth anywhere between $800 and I would say $1,120, with an average valuation of approximately $1,040 when redeemed for flight. This card does have a $499 annual fee. Now, on the earnings side, the Premier card would deliver 6x points on JetBlue purchases, 2x at restaurants and grocery stores, and 1 point per dollar everywhere else. Now, over time, those everyday categories can build a solid TrueBlue balance, especially for people that spend heavily on food. There's also a 5,000 point anniversary bonus each year you keep this card, along with a useful redemption perk that gives you 10% of your points back after completing a JetBlue award flight. That feature will stretch your points further every time you redeem, and when you look at the full package, the JetBlue Premier card is clearly built for frequent JetBlue flyers who want a more premium experience. It will not be the perfect fit for everyone, but if you're a loyal JetBlue traveler, it can become a very compelling option for you. And again, if you don't actually travel, you can always sell these miles and just get cash for them. Now let's shift into something that's far more beginner friendly, but still very effective. The Blue Cash Everyday card from American Express continues to be one of the most practical, no annual fee cashback cards on the market. The welcome offer currently sits at $200 back after spending $2,000 within the first 6 months. Now, while this may not be the flashiest bonus in today's lineup, the real strength of this card lies in its everyday earning categories. Now, this card would earn 3% back on US online retail purchases, 3% at US supermarkets, and 3% back at US gas stations, each with annual spending caps. The online retail category becomes especially powerful during heavy shopping seasons, and because the spending caps reset each calendar year, strategic timing near year end can allow some users to effectively double dip across 2 calendar cycles. There's also a monthly credit available for eligible Disney bundle subscriptions, which is relatively rare for a card that carries no annual fee. So for someone building the early stages of their credit card strategy, this card remains one of the safest and most reliable starting points. Now we step into one of the most talked about mid-tier travel cards available today. The American Express Gold is currently showing a targeted welcome offer as high as 100,000 membership reward points after $6,000 in spending within the first 6 months. Now, the important phrase to focus on here is as high as. American Express frequently will use dynamic welcome offers, meaning the exact bonus you can see will vary depending on your profile and how you access the application. 100,000 American Express membership reward points are generally worth between $1,000 and $2,200 or more when redeemed for travel, with a 2.2 cent per point valuation possible for higher value bookings, just depending on, again, how you redeem this. Now, this card does come with a $325 annual fee. The best value is achieved by transferring points to airline or hotel partners, while cash equivalent options like statement credits usually offer much lower value. But again, as I've been saying throughout the video, you can transfer this to a hotel partner, go to that website where you can actually sell this, and then you'll be able to get money for it if you don't want to actually use it for, let's say, travel, hotel, rental cars, or anything like that. And what makes the gold card so powerful long term is not just the welcome bonus, it's the category multipliers that continue working long after that bonus has already been earned. This card excels in everyday spending categories like dining and groceries, which for many households represent some of the largest monthly expenses. When you have a card that aligns with categories you already spend heavily in, the points engine just continues running in the background month after month, and this is how serious reward balances start to build over time. If the gold card is the everyday workhorse, then the platinum card is the premium luxury machine. Now, there are targeted offers on the American Express Platinum, which are reaching as high as 175,000 membership reward points after $12,000 in spending within the first 6 months. 175,000 American Express membership reward points are generally worth between, I would say, $1,750 and $3,500 or more, depending on redemption. Now, with a high value transfer to airline partners, that will typically yield you the best return. And yes, the annual fee on this card is significantly high. It's $895. This is not a casual product, but the value equation here is built around both the massive welcome bonus and the extensive suite of travel and lifestyle benefits. The Platinum card includes airport lounge access, elite hotel status with select programs, airline fee credits, and a long list of partner statement credits that can offset a meaningful portion of that annual fee. But that's only if you actually use them. And the last part is critical for frequent flyers who naturally use these perks. The math can work surprisingly well, but if you're someone who rarely travels or will not actively manage the credits, the annual fee becomes much harder to justify. This is one of those cards where honest self-evaluation really does matter more than just the hype of the card. You want to make sure that you're actually going to benefit from it, or if you can justify the annual fee and you can actually get that membership reward and then transfer that into some sort of cash value that actually balances out. No serious conversation about welcome bonuses would be completed without mentioning the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Right now, Chase is offering 75,000 ultimate reward points after $5,000 in spending within the first 3 months. Now, this card has remained incredibly popular for years because it hits a very clean balance between annual fee, usability, and redemption flexibility. The annual fee on this card is $95. Now, at a minimum redemption rate, those 75,000 points are worth around $750 in cash back, but when transferred to high value partners like Hyatt, many users are able to extract significantly more value per point. For someone entering the travel reward space and looking for a strong foundational card, the Sapphire Preferred continues to be one of the easiest recommendations in the entire market. But again, if you do not care about travel partners or anything like that, you can always sell these points or just take that $750 cash back offer. Finally, we arrive at the premium sibling, the refreshed Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is currently offering around 125,000 ultimate reward points after spending $6,000 in spending within the first 3 months. 125,000 Chase Ultimate Reward points are generally worth between $1,250 or it could be over $2,500 depending on how they're redeemed. However, redeeming for travel through Chase or transferring partners often will yield a value of 1.5 to over 2 cents per point, making them worth around $1,875 to again over $2,500, and then you'd have to sell these points on that website that I talked about and then see what you can actually get. Now, this card does carry a very high annual fee of $795, and the credit structure is more complex than the preferred version. Now, this is not designed for a casual user, but anytime that you can generate 6 figures worth of transferable ultimate reward points, it does deserve attention. For heavy travelers who fully utilize the travel credit, lounge access, premium protections, the Reserve can still deliver serious long-term value. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Now, here's the part that separates people who casually collect points from people who consistently generate thousands of dollars of value every single year. This is not about applying for every card at one time. It's about sequencing. It's about aligning welcome bonuses with real expenses that you were already planning to make. It's about managing annual fees intentionally, and it's about protecting your credit profile while still optimizing rewards. If you approach this randomly, you can absolutely create unnecessary complexities and costs. But if you approach this with a clear plan, patience, and discipline, then the credit card bonus space can become one of the highest return financial systems that are available to everyday consumers. Right now, we're in a strong window for elevated welcome bonuses across multiple major issuers, and the key is planning your next 6 to 12 months of spending and identifying which bonuses naturally fit into your existing financial flow. Now, when you do this consistently, you can stack well over $9,000 in value, because if you added up even the average valuation of the points that we discussed, this had to be over $10,000 of value. And if you want to see exactly how to structure the ideal multi-card setup step by step, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to make that next. I can also do a business credit card version of this exact same layout, so you can use that in order to optimize and get these points or cash back offers and then sell them for actual money. And once again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys have a wonderful day.